Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sims M, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming and watching another video. Thank you so much guys for the love that you guys showed to me in my previous video, the Wellness Wednesday video in particular. I absolutely love how you guys received that video. I was stressed about it because I didn't know how people were gonna be, especially now that it's no longer only based on weight loss, but you guys were amazing. I loved reading your comments. It was surprising how many people were even like, we relate with this so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I thought I was the only one going through this, and I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I was intending with that video and this series as a whole. So yeah, without wasting time, let's get straight into today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing about my road to wellness and some of the stuff that I've learned along the way, particularly this year, because this year for me has been one of the most difficult years, challenging years in many ways than one. I will share about that maybe in the coming videos, to just share with you guys about what happened to really push me into wanting to pursue the road to wellness in all aspects of my life. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I've learned throughout the year. Some I've read, some I've seen, some I've experienced, and so forth. I don't want this video to be long, so that's why you see me pausing a lot, because I'm really trying to make it like 15 minutes max. So one of the things that I learned this year, beginning of the year, is the importance of unplugging from the world around you and plugging into the world within you. This was very important for me, and it's something that I've always known, but it didn't apply as strong as it did for me this year. I've always known that when I'm connected to myself, when I'm centered, as many people would put it, I can listen to my thoughts more. I thrive in a lot of things. And when I'm not, and there's a lot of noise, I tend to mess up quite a lot. So we live in a world where it's loud constantly. You listen to the news, it's loud. There's a lot of things happening. The economy this year, there's a lot of things happening. You go on social media, there's a lot of things, that we consume. The first thing that many of us do in the morning is to open our phones and just browse our social media. And with that comes a lot of noise. We end up just taking in so much. We end up just seeing how many people are living greater lives, and that feeds into our spirits. That ends up making us to be consumed by that, and it disables us from connecting with ourselves. It disables us from knowing exactly what we want. Because I live on social media for the most part, because I push content there. There's a lot of things that I've seen people post over and over again. They post them so much that I end up feeling like, oh, I actually want that. I actually want to buy that. I actually want to save for that. I actually need money for that. Or I'm not living a great life because I can't buy that. Only to find out that those are not even my real desires. Those are not really my heart's desires. They are things that have been imposed on me because of what I'm feeding my spirit. So it was important for me going into this year that I learn to unplug from the world and what is out there, and really connect to myself and my spirit, and go back to say, who exactly are you? Who exactly are you? What exactly do you want? And usually those conversations are the conversations that can only be understood from internally. You have to really be in a place of stillness, and at least I had to go into that space and be like, this is actually not for me, or this is actually where I want to take my life. So unplugging was very important so that I can connect. When I'm connected to myself, I am able to live up to my higher self. I'm able to to really be centered and connected, and I'm able to thrive, So that's the first thing that I learned this year. Another important lesson that I learned this year, which was quite difficult and painful for me to go through, it was that I need to let go of things that don't serve me, even if I love them. I need to let go of people who don't serve me, or who don't serve the purpose they are here in my life for. I need to let them go if they no longer serve that purpose. I don't know if that makes sense. And one of the hardest things that I had to do for myself, a personal story, is that, so I bought my car 4-5 years ago. It was great. I loved that car. I really did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But in the last 2 years, it started giving me serious issues. Like, I would need to fix things on it literally every second month, and it became so draining for me. It became like a burden to me, where I was like, what, to be honest. And this year, this realization and acceptance came this year, where I was like, what, this car, yes, it brings convenience here and there. It takes me from a point A to point B, but it no longer serves me, and I need to let go of it because it's stressing me more, or it's even costing me more to have it than not to have it, and I had to let it go. It's still here, but I don't use it anymore because I think I've accepted that it's time for me to let it go. So I've released it in my heart, like internally I've released it. I'm just waiting for the process of us to sell it and to let go of it, because what's the point if something is meant to make your life easier and it's not doing that? It's important for us to learn to release it. And I also had to realize that these are material things. I don't think God intended for humans or humanity to hold on to material things. These are the things that are supposed to serve us here and there, but they are not the be all and all of life. They are not things that hold our future, and without them we are going to perish, or whatever the case is. So I've really had to let go of it, and in doing that, I believe make space for something new, something better, something that will do exactly what it's meant to do. And the same applies with people, unfortunately. There are people that having them in our lives just leads to distraction more than peace. And I am a firm believer that if something doesn't bring you peace, and you're constantly having to keep this thing in your life, like fight to keep it because it's just bringing distraction, then that thing you need to let it go. Even if it's a person, you need to let it go. So that is one of the most important lessons for me this year. Another thing that I have had to learn, this was something that I had to learn about myself, and I had to pause and say, don't. And it's a character trait, and that is that I am an impulsive person. I'm an impulsive spender. I am impulsive. Like, a thought comes now and I do it now without really questioning if it's necessary. And that has unfortunately cost me a lot, especially financially. I will buy, guys, like I will buy without even blinking, and that has cost me a lot because I don't make sober decisions. I don't know if I can say that. Like, if I feel like, I'm fascinated, I already get into something. Literally a week ago, we had a wellness day at work, and there was different service providers, and one of the service providers was Virgin Active. And this Virgin Active consultant came to me, and they were like, hey, if you join Virgin Active today, you will only pay in the next 3 months or 4 months. And for me, because I don't really have a gym except the gym that we found, like our apartment gym, like the one that's downstairs. and it doesn't even have a lot of things, you know, to do. So I was like, how about I sign up? And I had to really sort of take a moment to say, but it was not in your plan. You didn't even come to work today intending that you want to join a gym. You didn't even plan for it. Like, you didn't even, beginning of the month or last month, it was never in your plan. It never came as an idea in your head that you want or you are looking for a gym. So why are you grabbing something just because it looks good? And that has been my downfall, guys, in a lot of things. Like, in a lot of things, I was at a store buying and this person asked me, do you want a credit card? And I was like, yes, I want it. I'm signing up right now. And I was like, I need to stop that. I need to stop being impulsive. I need to stop making decisions as though I'm being chased by someone. And it has been one of the most difficult things for me because I believe it's my character, although I don't think so. But I'm learning and actively working to go out of that. I'm learning and I'm being intentional about it, you know, about not making rushed decisions like that. So yeah. So the next thing that I believe is going to be the last thing that I share with you guys is that a tough season will last until you learn a lesson that you're supposed to learn for that season. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like it does. For me, that is a golden lesson I've learned this year. It's a golden lesson that I've learned this year. Tough times will always come. No matter how breezy life is right now, even for you, no matter how seamless things seem to be happening, but tough seasons, winter seasons will always come, because that is just the essence of life. You know, life is not the destination. Life is the ups, the downs, the hills, you know, the depths of oceans. That is life. That is the essence of life. And tough times, low seasons will always come. But if you don't learn the lesson you're supposed to learn in that season, the season will drag longer than it's supposed to. I learned this year. And I know some of these things, a lot of you might be like, how we've always known that. But for me, this year, those things were reinforced. Uguti, when you go through a difficult time and you decide to be sad about it, to be gloomy about it, to be frustrated and just miserable, and you miss the lesson you are supposed to take from that season, the season will take longer than it's supposed to. Not only that, the season will return, and your outlook of that will ensure that you feel like life has not moved. Literally. And my outlook now that I know that is that when I go through tough seasons, when I go through a tough day, when I go through a tough month, my outlook is always, what is this supposed to teach me? What is this coming to my life for? What is it here to teach me? And that has literally changed everything for me. It has changed everything. That I go through things now that I went through in the past, and I'm not as miserable about them. Honestly, I'm not as miserable about them. I'm just like, okay, what is this meant to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this? What positive can I take from this? You understand what I'm saying? If there's a month that is difficult for us here in the house, where, you know what, we are literally just trying to get to the next month, and groceries, they're going down, like everything is just going down, I look at it differently now. Now I'm like, maybe with this last 100 rands, we are meant to buy fruits and vegetables because they are cheaper. And from that, we will be sticking to the diet that we've been failing to stick with, and from that we'll be healthier. From that we'll just be better people. Or if the car is broken, as it is broken right now, maybe this is here to teach me to walk more, or to force me to walk more and to be more physical, and to actually take a taxi and go to the shop and meet people in the taxi, and maybe whoever I'm going to meet, there's something that I need to say to them that will change their lives, or whatever the case is, guys. And I know that to someone it might be like you're lying to yourself, or you're trying to, but for me it works. Like, it works. I believe that every season is meant to teach us something, especially tough seasons. They are meant to teach us something. And if we have a different outlook than just choosing to be frustrated and jailed and imprisoned by these difficult circumstances, we will live a better life. We will just be better people, at the end of the season. And when you look back, you will be like, I appreciate having gone through that, because this is what I took from that. This is what I learned from that. So those are, in summary, things that I've learned this year, and they have absolutely changed my life. I don't know if you guys have anything that you can share in the comment section that has changed, whether it's a quote, whether it's a verse, whatever it is, whether it's just a life lesson. Share it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of the points that I spoke about resonates with you, and let's just engage in the comment section and keep the conversation going. That's it for today's Wellness Wednesday video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got something from it.